Yo, what's up guys, we're back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be ranking my top 10 UK football derbies across England itself. So yeah guys, if you are new, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to comment below your favourite derby as well. But yeah, let's get straight into the video. So guys, at number 10 we have Liverpool versus Everton. Now I know these teams are very different, obviously. Liverpool high flying in the league, and Everton who are getting better but not as good as Liverpool. This is my number 10 just because they have obviously the players all hate the other team and all that. I'm going to show you a couple of clips after some Liverpool versus Everton moments, any big things that have happened, because obviously the fan rivalry as well is very big. So yeah, that's my number 10. Okay guys, at number 9 we have Man United versus Man City. Now you might be thinking, why am I always going for the big ones at the lowest? And the thing is though, with the Premier League, there ain't much atmosphere. Alright, there's a little bit from some fans, but like Man City, no offence to some Man City fans who are actually, proper fans, but I just don't know many. And like, there's all these like plastic Premier League fans, and everyone like Man United, they're all moaning like, oh, we can't be in the top 4. When there's other clubs in non-league, not just like Ebbsfleet, but lots of other clubs who can't even afford to pay players' wages. So you're moaning about that when there's other teams that are not be able to pay other players' wages. I've picked this one at number 9 just because it's obviously a Manchester derby. And however, though, it has gone down in recent years, mainly because of Man United have got worse and Man City have come a lot better, and there's more of a rivalry between Man City and Liverpool, which I'll get later on into the video. But yeah, that's my number 9. So at number 8 we have Arsenal versus Tottenham. Now I like this type of derby. It's not one of my favourites, but I've put this at number 8. Just because it's like another Premier League one. You don't get much atmosphere in that. But obviously there's a massive rivalry between Tottenham and Arsenal in recent years. There's been some many fights. One thing I can remember was when Dele Alli, I think someone threw a bottle cap or something at Dele Alli. And then he went up like 2-0 and that, or something like that. I can't do it on there. But yeah, he done that. So yeah, that's a big rivalry, and that's why I've picked that one number 8.
Be interesting to see where Spurs. Well, that's a very unsavoury sight as an object is hurled in the direction of Dele Alli on a night where both managers had asked for supporters to show a sense of responsibility.
Well, he doesn't
Dele
need to be
Alli.
winding them up, does he? But it's
No.
a stupid act by one of those so-called supporters in there.
It is mindless, and it is easy to say don't react, but when you've just been hit by an object as he has, I'm sure the sense of injustice is great for Dele Alli. John Moss moving in to smooth things over.
So, at number 7, I'm going to pick... It's a bit of a weird one, because this one's not in the top 4 leagues of English football. It's actually in the non-league, and it's Chester versus Wrexham. Now, obviously, there was, around social media and that, there's been that bit of when a Chester fan, when in minute silence, he shouted something out or something. I can't remember what it was. But that is incredibly rude for that. Basically, also because Chester think they're in Wales, but they're not really. So that's how kind of the rivalry happened. Obviously, there's a lot of Wrexham fans and Chester fans. They both hate each other. Yeah, it's always a big derby, and always lives up to the expectations, especially with Bootlegger and that. Yeah, a very good YouTuber. I recommend you go watch him because he's very funny.
Disgusting! Disgusting behaviour! Sorry mate, sorry. Disgusting! Disgusting behaviour! Everybody! Scum! 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 Well, they're gonna get it! They are! They're gonna get it! Oh, they're gonna get this! You're gonna get it! Fucking have it! Get down there! Fucking well, absolutely disgusting behaviour by the Chester fans! Disgusting! Disgusting!
So guys, at number 6 we have AFC Wimbledon versus MK Dons. Both teams known as the Dons. To be honest, I think AFC Wimbledon are more of the the nickname of the Dons compared to MK Dons. The thing with MK Dons, I don't have many fans. I know a lot of YouTubers that do it, but I don't see many fans of them. Like, they've got a really big stadium, but they never fill it up, so it's kind of a bit of a weird one. Obviously, Wimbledon, still a bit annoyed for what they did with Ebbsfleet. Well, when was that? 11 years ago. Ooh, that makes me old. Yeah, that was a bit not the best of results. Obviously, Wimbledon have been on like a high run because obviously they started from the bottom and now got to League One. Hopefully, they can stay up. I do like Wimbledon. They look like a good side. Obviously, Alfie Egan we got for them. He looks like a very good player indeed. Very good. But yeah, I think this one's good because there is always that rivalry between like who are the actual Dons? Is it Wimbledon or MK? So to me, it's Wimbledon. But yeah, that's my number 6. On to number 5. Now, at number 5, we have Manchester City and Liverpool. Now, obviously, this is kind of a bit of a new derby. They are quite close to each other, like an hour away trip. I'm not too sure about on that, but correct me if I'm wrong. Obviously, they're both very good teams. Obviously, Man City, they've had some bad stuff going wrong recently. They've been kicked out of the Champions League for 2 seasons, or any Europa. No Europa League, no Champions League. They can't get anything. So, plus apparently they might be getting demoted down to League 2. So, Manchester City and Liverpool was it would always be a good game, obviously, and it was either them two. It was always them two that are fighting for the Premier League title. Last year it was Man City. This year, yeah, it's definitely going to be Liverpool. There's no way Man City are going to catch Liverpool up. You never know. Liverpool could do a Gerrard, but it's very unlikely. I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, that's my number 5. So guys, at number 4 we have Cardiff City and Swansea City. Obviously they are both in the Championship, and you can see most of the ones in the top 5, or from like 7th to 5th, aren't always going to be Premier League teams, because I think the Premier League teams haven't got the best of derbies. But yeah, this one at number 5, just because they're both from Wales, and there's always that big thing of like, who's the best team in your that area. So for me personally, it's kind of a close one. If I was going to say on recent form and history, I would say Cardiff, but then Swansea have been in the Premier League for quite a bit, but it both haven't been going well for them recently in the Championship. I think one's near the playoffs, and then Swansea are like, I don't know, I think they're a little bit lower down, so I'm not too sure, but yeah, that's my number 4, I think. At number 3, we have Newcastle versus Sunderland. Now, obviously, this is a massive, massive game for any derby. It's one of my top 3 favourites, I think. Top 3, yeah. Basically, what I like about it is obviously Sunderland haven't been doing well recently, because they've gone down from like the Premier League, down from the Championship, and now in League One, and I think they're near like the playoffs or something. Obviously, I think a better team from them, I would say Newcastle, obviously, but there's still that big derby. And what the funny thing is, I liked about it, there was this guy who was singing about Newcastle, like they get a free season ticket and a Happy Meal. I'll show you the clip now, but yeah, that's my number 3. So at number 2, it is either going to be Aston Villa versus Birmingham, or Celtic versus Rangers. And I think in second, I'm going to have Aston Villa versus Birmingham City. Now this is obviously very big. There's been a lot of stuff happening with this one, especially last year in the Championship. A fan ran on the pitch and slapped Jack Grealish near the neck or something. And you never know, that could have been a knife or anything, because these days people can get all that stuff in there. But yeah, that's my number 2, just because they always have a real big rivalry. Obviously, I think Aston Villa are better, and obviously I think there was like a documentary about all the police and that, what they had to do. They really have to keep them very separated apart, because anything near each other it just bang. They all go and then they all kick off. But yeah, that's my number 2.
27,000 empty seats, they got 27,000 empty seats, so there's a massive club. They've got 41 players, no one knows they got 41 players, no one knows they got 41 players, no one knows, so there's a massive club. They've got Adams for a fiver. Kids for free, they got adults for a fiver. Kids for free, they got adults for a fiver. Kids for free, so there's a massive club. They get a free season ticket with a Happy Meal. They get a free season ticket with a Happy Meal. They get a free season ticket with a Happy Meal. So there's a massive club. They get cheesy chips. For a quid, they get cheesy chips. For a quid, they get cheesy chips. For a quid, so there's a massive club. You get your hot dog sausage in the burger bun. You get your hot dog sausage in the burger bun. You get your hot dog sausage in the burger bun. So there's a massive club. They do the shopping in the bridges. We've got LA.
have Celtic versus Rangers. Now this is the only one in this that is in the Scottish League, and I think the one only out of England, unless you count the Wrexham versus Chester one outside of England. But yeah, I think this one obviously, because they both have big rivalries. I like Rangers more, but I know Celtic are a little bit better. I know some people won't like me for saying that. But yeah, I do like Rangers. Obviously, a very nice team. They've got a good striker called Morelos or something. I think he was trying to be signed by Barcelona, which is very nice to know. Like a Scottish team is attracting players for Barcelona. And then obviously there's that 16-year-old, I can't remember what his name was, but from Celtic that looks like a really good prospect. Hopefully he can be the next really good player for England. But yeah, that's my number 1. And yeah guys, there we have it. That's my top 10 ranked football derbies. So yeah, this is going to be the end of the video. If you're new, please subscribe, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, and comment below what one was your favourite. And yeah, I will see you in another video.
You should say